Yeah, my name's Tim Termuende. I'm President and CEO of Eagle Plains Resources. I'm co-founder with my father. We started the company back in 1992, so I've been around for about 30 years. We trade on the TSX Venture Exchange under the symbol EPL. Eagle Plains is an exploration company, basically composed of geologists on the board, primarily geologists. We've got over 100 years of geological experience. We operate as a project generator, so we do a lot of research ourselves. We have a very broad network of prospectors. We basically are ground floor explorationists that usually start with grassroots projects. Quite often we're the first people to explore a property. Occasionally we come across deals and acquire more advanced projects, sometimes have a bunch of drill holes on them, but for the most part we are grassroots explorers with project generation as our model, because we feel too that the odds of discovery in this business are astronomically low on a percentage basis. So the more we can mitigate risk by bringing other partners in to help finance our projects, to help market our projects, it basically spreads the risk around but leaves the upside for our shareholders and our partner shareholders. We kind of work a pipeline, an exploration pipeline. As I say, we start grassroots with a lot of projects. Some of these projects we've had for 20 years, and so over the years we've advanced them, moved them along from sort of grassroots prospecting to maybe soil sampling to doing geophysics to get to the point where we're actually drilling these and exploring them, as advanced projects. And we've had 4 drill programs this summer, or this season so far. Starting with our Olson project in Saskatchewan. We've also had partners drill our Knife Lake project, partners drill our Iron Range project just recently in the East Kootenays. And we are currently drilling our 100% owned Vulcan property right now in the East Kootenays, about 30 kilometers west of the Sullivan deposit at Kimberley, BC. So that project, I'm particularly excited about that project. I've been involved with it for about 30 years, over 30 years. When I was a junior geologist, we ended up acquiring the property in Eagle Plains about 20 years ago. And we finally got to the point where we're financially confident enough and we have enough money in the bank that we want to explore that ourselves. So we've just a few days ago started a $1.2 million drill program on Vulcan. It's a Sullivan target, so it's sort of a swing for the fences kind of target, and I'm quite excited about it, and I'm quite eager to see the results of that. Just yesterday looked at our news releases this year, and we put out 18 positive news releases in the last 3 months. So we've been a fairly steady news flow. Our most significant news release actually was back in April when one of our spin-out companies, Taiga Gold Corp, we sold Taiga to SSR Mining. Eagle Plains had a 12 million shares of Taiga. We sold it at 26.5 cents a share. So Eagle Plains got a cash infusion of about $3.5 million. But more importantly, that transaction kind of underlines one of Eagle Plains' fundamental goals as an exploration company is when we get a project that sort of takes on a life of its own, we spin it out into a separate entity. We dividend shares in this separate entity to our shareholders. You were involved years ago with Copper Canyon. That was a very successful transaction for Eagle Plains and our shareholders, and we've done that 3 or 4 times since Copper Canyon. So the most recent example of that was Taiga Gold and the acquisition of Taiga by SSR. So, we are obviously focused on a project scale level, but we also are looking for the next project that will become a spin-out company. Over the years, we've actually dividended, if you want to call them dividends, about $100 million in value to our shareholders. So that's a historical fact. That's not looking forward. That's not blue sky. That's not wild optimism. That's what we've done, and we are doing everything the same as we've done in the past, and we expect to be able to do that further in the future. And right now, we're looking at assets that we have in our portfolio that will form the next spin-out. We're actively working on that right now. I'm hopeful that we get encouraging results off the Vulcan project. I'm hopeful we get encouraging results from Iron Range. I'm more confident that we will deliver value in our next spinout, and that's again in the next 3 or 4 months we expect to be talking more about our next spinout. This is a very cyclical industry. We've had 3 or 4 good, really good years, frothy years. A lot of companies were able to raise money. A lot of companies were spending money. It's harder to do now, and so we're finding that there's a contraction in the business overall, and for us that's opportunity. Crisis equals opportunity. We just put out our second quarter financials a few days ago. We've got $10 million in cash right now in treasury, so we're now looking for opportunities that don't come along until you're in a downturn. So we're on a shopping spree now. It's starting. It all starts with research. It's, we look around at a lot of opportunities. We wait for opportunities in these kind of bear markets that I think we're entering now. So it's bigger picture. Obviously, we're very focused on our projects alone, but bigger picture, we're focused on opportunities that are going to come in the next bear market. This industry, mineral exploration, is probably the riskiest industry in the world. There's a very, very high risk-reward ratio. The higher the risk, the higher the reward. But we're in a position where we can mitigate the risk through our partners. We've got a lot of partners right now. We're constantly looking for more partners. I'm currently negotiating deals right now. But I think people can basically map our future by looking at our past. I mean, we've been around for 28 years as a public company. We've never done a rollback. We're one of the oldest companies on the TSX Venture Exchange, and we're the 9th oldest, and we've never done a rollback. There's very few that can say that. So, I can't guarantee success in the future, but I think if you look back at our track record, there's very few companies in the space that have that much longevity, that can talk about history like we can, and we're very confidently talking about our history, and I think that's a roadmap to the future.